Aboriginal communities have a kinship structure where everybody is basically related to everybody else. So you are an uncle or a father or a brother or a grandchild, a grandfather, mother. You are what you are, and you relate to that other person by nature of that relationship. And so Yolngu and many traditional Aboriginal people find it really difficult to relate to people who are nobody, nothing. You don't know if that person's potentially an avoidance relation to you. You just don't know how to react, how to relate to them. Well, you can relate to them as a foreigner, I suppose, and that doesn't get you very far. But you can't really get into close relationships with people. And so it's good to be adopted into an Aboriginal family. You start to learn all those people around you who have those different relationships, and across different clans, even across different tribal groups. But I always suggest to people, don't rush into it. It's something that can take some time, because on many communities there are some people who tend to want to adopt every Ballanda, every outsider that steps onto the community to get more of those people into their family, and they're probably not the people you need to be adopted in with. So take your time at it. It's usually who you become good friends with in that community. They will then suggest that they adopt you into their clan, and you start to shadow them. So you become a brother or sister to them, and then all their rallies are basically your rallies. And it's a good icebreaker to sit down and work out before you have a conversation how you're related to each other. It gets the conversation going, and it shows that you're ready to participate as an equal in terms of communicating. You fit into where the people are at, and it just makes so many things work so much better. If you'll hear from a lot of Ballanda a lot of rubbish about this, that means that people can come, your brothers or your sister can come to you and ask you for money and you've got to give it up and all. That's all rubbish. If people just want a relationship with you for what they can get out of you, well, it's not worth having a relationship. So learn to say no, especially if you haven't got it. You want to help out. But I've found that hasn't been a problem to me, because I've been ready to say, sorry, I haven't got any leftover money. I haven't got any leftover money. I have money, but I haven't got any leftover by the time I pay for all my bills, what I'm saving for to buy a house and all that. Tell people straight out what you're doing with your money. Show your humanness to them. Other people will say, well, yes, but there might be people in an avoidance relationship. If you're a doctor, you might have to work with people in that avoidance relationship. I haven't found that that's a real great issue. I've worked a few times with my sister in close collaboration with me. One time as a secretary. I've got one of my sisters at the moment is a co-producer with me. So we work through a radio service constantly, talking to each other about all sorts of subjects and all sorts of things. But she'd still much rather me call her by the sister term in the kinship system. It just shows, but in that case we just show a lot more respect and all that. So I haven't even found it's caused a real problem in the avoidance relationship. If it was a strong avoidance relationship, the fact that I acknowledge it and I say if I was a doctor but I still had to carry out the duties of a doctor, the younger person is going to appreciate that and understand it. So adoption is great. Not being adopted means you're a nobody, you're a nothing. You almost don't exist in the Yolngu universe, because how can you be in community with human beings if you haven't got relationship, if you don't fit in somewhere here or there?